Good morning, everybody. It's 10 a.m., March 13th, 2022. And I just wanted to go over the form for the Maranasati coin. I know a lot of people were involved in the last one, like 340. A lot of them turned out to be bots. I've really blown this one up and I've gotten a much larger response, but the numbers aren't adding up because of the same reason. There's a lot of bots, a lot of artificial stuff going on out there, a lot of automation. We are putting some things in the contract that will not only mitigate some of that action, it should also mitigate people just dumping, and there's going to be some stuff to incentivize you to hold and to hold longer. This isn't going to be a reflectionary token where you get tokens for people buying and selling. It's not going to do anything like that. The only way you will gain tokens is by holding. We are going to try to put in a system where you will be getting whatever APY for holding for X amount of length. You will get a payout every so many days, maybe monthly. We're still going over some options on that, maybe both. I'm not entirely sure how that will pan out yet, but that is what this coin will be. The longer you hold, the better. You get APY for it. It doesn't mean if you want to sell, sure, there'll probably be a small sales tax that goes into liquidity, just like there will be a small buy tax that will go into liquidity. And the main reason for that, from my stance, is to support the token, for one, but for two, we as a team do not have tons of money to throw in here into the liquidity pool to get this thing going. So the only way to get this thing going is via the community. We got to have interaction. Otherwise, it's just not going to grow if nobody buys it, And it was the same with last time. Everybody got dropped. It got wrecked so hard nobody wanted to buy it, and I don't blame it. I still have a bunch of it. I've pretty much told everybody that's asked me if you want to keep buying it, that's up to you. They're going to gobble your liquidity up. But you could throw some money at it, and it could go up. I don't know. That's on you guys. I watch it every couple of days. Just remember, when you fill this form out, it states in the beginning, you must be following this account. You must be following this account. And here's where the numbers already start to not add up. We've got 1,500 here. We've got 1,005 here. Whatever, no big deal. I've gained a ton of followers in the past few days. Pretty cool to see that. I've never had over 1,000 followers on Twitter, even though probably half of that's fake at this point. And then you also have to subscribe to this, which I went all the way up to 1,100. And when I woke up this morning, it has dropped to 941, which leads me to believe that YouTube has recognized these as bots and artificial or temporary accounts and went ahead and knocked them off for me. So it would be interesting to see the views we get based off of these, because we're right around 1,000. We can agree on that. But that's all, you'll see as I get down here why that's so crazy to me, because of the amount of action that we've actually gotten. And because of the action we've actually gotten, I'm strongly debating pulling back the registration date, I guess you would say, to the 21st instead of the 24th, to give me time to do what I'm going to do to explain here in a second. Feel free to leave comments either on the Twitter post or on this video itself. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Like the channel, yada, 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 like the video. So this is what happened, for those of you who don't remember. We airdropped, and then in the beginning, a few of us were still buying. Even I was buying. It's something I set up, so I was invested in it. I was going to keep pumping. A few other contracts were pumping, and then as soon as I did the major airdrop, because this was us trying to build liquidity to, support some action so people could buy and sell, which is why we won't be doing quite the same this time. We won't be starting with as high of a price point either. This started at 0.001 and then tanked to this immediately. We will probably be starting in price closer to something like this, and then letting it do what it's doing. And you guys are not going to be getting airdropped $1,500 worth of tokens this time. It is going to be far less, and far less exciting probably, but that is okay. If this is going to be a real community and a real token, people are going to have to get off their ass and buy it. I'm not going to give the whole thing away just so this can happen again. But anyway, I had to send out the smart contract to do the airdrop in two separate smart chain transactions. That's the service I use required. When I did that, this is on the 12-hour. If I break it in, you'd probably have to go back to the 1 minute to even be able to see it. even then, I don't think you can see it. It doesn't look like you can. Oh no, this is now. Hold on. Maybe we can. We gotta go way back. Oh, sorry, my mouse got crazy. It doesn't even look like it'll let me go that far back. Maybe I gotta drag. Oh, come on, I can't go back any farther. There we go. So you can see in these couple 1 minute candles where everything just immediately as it was hitting accounts was just 99% drop. Tried to fight back, gobbled us up again. We tried to fight back again, gobbled us up. And it's pretty much maintained that vibe since. There's been a couple spikes I've seen where people tried to buy a couple coins, but like I said, I'm not buying any of it. I barely look at it. I don't care about my balance. I still have like 1 billion of them. So whatever. It's never going to go anywhere. That's my opinion. You guys can keep buying it as much as you'd like. Just wanted to show you what happened and what we're going to do about it. So if you go back here and you look on the scanner, you start seeing all these things. And, this list has now changed a little bit. I do have a previous list, but for the most part, what happened was in the beginning. See, I had set the whole thing up wrong. You should just have your burn address, your dev wallet, which would have been this wallet. I had actually set 1 billion aside. Or maybe that is. Oh yeah, I burnt the dev wallet now. Never mind. This was going to be the dev wallet. It was only 1% of it was mine. I'm not going to do it that way this time. Anything that I'm going to have personal control over, I'll be buying. And then we're going to lock most of the dead wallet or the burn wallet as it grows. That way we can access some of it for the project if we need to. Like we're going to need a website. I don't want to pay for it out of my pocket. The project should pay for it. So, little stupid stuff like that. And that's not going to be a huge expense, but just showing you some of that. So these guys, look at how, I'll show you what's so interesting about these guys. And these addresses have definitely been recorded because if you look, they used all these different addresses just so they could gain airdrops on multiple times using different wallet addresses. And the service I use detects duplicate addresses, but they're not using duplicate addresses. They have a bunch of them set up. I think this is cheap, grimy, dirty, sleazy, whatever you want to call it. It's not the point of these things, is it to just run away with free money. I think you guys are assholes that do this. I don't mind saying that on my channel. And there was a lot of that, is my point, multiple times. So what I've done is I've set up a way of cross-checking some of this stuff, and that is why you have to do the Google form. It's going to have to be a valid email that is easily verified by me, whether or not that email is valid. Is it active? Is it a dead email? Is it temporary settings? I have a way of finding out a lot of that. I've already ran through it a couple times. You have to leave your smart chain address, obviously, your Twitter handle. I prefer the @ symbol to be there to make my life easy, to make sure you are following both accounts. And then your YouTube account URL. If it is not the URL, it will not be counted. And as of right now, most of them are not the URL. There's about 1,000 of them that are out of 7,000 responses. So as of right now, there's roughly 1,000 people that I have to go through and check all these addresses and all this stuff, make sure everything is good to go. But one of the great things about using this form that has been so helpful is right out of the gate, I am able to look and see where some of you have thought it was a good idea to come in here and attempt to create 20 accounts with all these emails. So your this YouTube account and anything associated with it or any of these emails automatically discluded. And this list goes on pretty far. I mean, most people aren't being that crazy. These guys are just being nuts. Who has the time? Some of you have tried to use my YouTube channel to do the same thing. There's just people with just 2 responses. They're not going to be that greedy. You guys aren't getting anything. you can see the list goes down pretty far before the duplicates stop. And once they do, like they will. This also populates onto a spreadsheet, so this is gonna be very easy for me to navigate when the time comes. But I mean, you just look at all these people just being cheap and sleazy. You guys are just dirty bottom feeders. You guys are like catfish. It just annoys me. And that's not the only parameter I can search by. There's tons of duplicate addresses. That doesn't necessarily mean you'll be discounted, but they will be merged. They will not get dual airdrops. And then even on the Twitter handles, some of you guys are trying to, and I don't care if this is putting some of y'all on blast or not. I don't appreciate it. You're trying to get 4 different drops, period. It's not happening. You're not getting any. It's just that simple. So I wanted to put this video out. You can even see over here in Sheets. I mean, I can organize this in so many ways. It is just made for me to just go through and just destroy. And right here, nobody's using a YouTube URL. Every single one of those will be deleted without me even going through everything. And then I'll start going through all these. And then all of these, which is a ton. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of YouTube links on here. There's a lot. So there might even be a couple thousand now. It's grown substantially. It's hard for me to follow. I don't follow this thing live, but if you do not, the YouTube channel is really what's going to, if it's not a URL, it will not work. I'm not typing in I'm not typing in your names. Some of you that just randomly smash the keyboard, you're obviously not getting it. I don't have time for that. The instructions on the forum are simple enough. This stuff is now easy for me to navigate and to go through. And I think I'm going to push the date back to the 21st. Let me know what you guys think. And hopefully this drop goes as scheduled by the 31st. I think it will. And I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to see what happens. Everybody continue to hodl. We're all going to make it.